Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your friend Eagle858, and welcome to Gear and Gaming. And today, it's patch day. It's patch day for Manor Lords. Well, to be fair, patch day was like yesterday, and probably by the time you're seeing this, it's been a couple days because I have to work and have kids and have to edit. So, yes, patch day though. Very fun things came out in Manor Lords. We're going to show you what they are really quick and just kind of go through the patch notes real fast. We're going to tell you what happened, why it matters, and what you can look forward to if you don't go and get the beta of the patch. And if you do, what you can look forward to playing on right now. So anyway, down below will be a link to the Steam page so that you can opt into the beta if you want to. And if you don't, then this will just let you know what you're waiting on. Well, let's hop into the game and we'll see what we can see. And here we are in Manor Lords, the new, more better Manor Lords. And this is what we got. Obviously, one of the first things you'll notice is there's more portraits. That's in the change. He did more portraits. They did more choices for your shield, and just generally got more things in there. And the first thing we're going to notice here that happened is the developer ported Manor Lords over to the Unreal 5 engine because Unreal 4 had lost its support and was starting to cause some bugs in this. Now you gotta remember, Manor Lords is 7 years old. He started working on this 7 years ago when Unreal 4 was supported. Well, here we are 7 years later. Unreal 4 lost its support. He couldn't get certain things to do certain things, so we had to port over to Unreal 5, and I'm about it. Like, it looks very, very good. Over here you'll see they're saying they're careful, food will spoil. So that's a new thing in this patch as well. You're now going to have to worry about your food spoiling, and as it says right here, food that's not in a granary will spoil quicker. And you can see if you go and hover over your supplies and over your food, it says spoilage very high. It lets you know what your individual items do, and obviously as we get farther into the gameplay, which we won't be doing too much of here, there's salt and different things like using salt to turn meat into sausage in your butcher shop, which we'll show you later. And it's a new thing, helps take that meat and that item and turn it in from a higher spoilage thing to a lower spoilage thing. So there you go. That's another thing. So in map now, yes, you'll see some of the symbols have changed. Clay looks a little different, but the big changes are the aforementioned salt, whatever it is. There it is. So here we have a salt deposit, and there are now going to be somewhere on the map, maybe, there it is, fishing ponds. Now, from what I've been able to tell in 4 or 5 starts, is there's one salt deposit on the map and there is one fishing pond somewhere on the map, and they aren't necessarily where you are. But yes, big change. Fishing ponds. Now, if you're lucky and you spawn with a pond, you get the ability to build a fisherman's hut, which is, got it right there, fisherman's hut. It lets them fish just like it works, essentially just like the hunting camp, except they do it at the pond. And from my understanding is these freeze during the winter, and if you don't have a development point of winter fishing, then like berries, you won't fish during the winter. So, I mean, you can think about getting that right off the bat and supplementing your food, but I think it's a good thing. It gives us more options to feed people, which we all need. So yeah, big things here. Fish, which was just another way to get meat, and salt, which is going to be part of that new system of spoilage and be used, it sounds like, at the butcher shop. And I haven't seen anywhere else that it is used. Let me actually look over here. Yes, so on the patch notes, which we can throw right up here, salt deposits were added. Salt can turn meat into sausages in the butcher shop and significantly reduces spoilage. Now there's a couple other big changes, and we'll get into those as soon as I have some buildings here.
A few moments later.
One thing to talk about while we're waiting for these buildings to get built so we can talk about the other bits of this is how good this looks. I mean, it looked really good in Unreal 4. It looks good again in Unreal 5. I mean, I got a pretty good system. I got a 3070, but you know, you can zoom all the way in now. Like, I don't think we could get quite this close in Unreal 4. Like, you can almost be at the walking around level without walking around. So I think that looks good. Oh, hooray for Unreal 5. It doesn't seem to be messing with my CPU and GPU usage too badly. Like, I'm running this pretty well. It's a 3070, but everything's on epic right now for the settings, and yeah, we're not maxing out my GPU by any stretch of the imagination. Even coming all the way in here. Ooh, there's the face. Yeah, coming right in, we start bumping up here, but we're still getting 112 frames. And it's still looking good. So yeah, I think we're doing good. All right, and now we got ourselves a saw pit, which is a production building. So now we can go in here, and this is new for the patch as well, is we can set both a reserve. So if we wanted to say, hey, we don't want you to use up any, we want to always have at least 10 timber on hands for construction purposes. So you can set that, but you can also come in here and set a production limit. Like, I don't need more than, 15 planks laying around. And this is a big thing for me, because I've had things where, like, you're just producing something, and it's like, no, I want you to keep working, but not all the time. And I want you, because it's sucking up all of one resource, which I really like. So this, I think, is a great quality of life improvement on Slavic Magic's part. All right, as promised, here is the butcher shop. So a new burgage plot upgrade is for you to make a butcher shop, which is nice, because now all them sheep that you're breeding, instead of trying to trade them and then buy food with it, you can now have them come here and be turned into meat and hides. And then also, you can, from meat and salt, if you can get salt, you can make sausage, which goes back to the spoilage thing we're talking about. So a great new little thing that we can throw in there. But remember, this is an upgrade to one of your burgage plots, so it will permanently take one of your families out of the labor pool. But I think it'll be a great thing, and it's another interesting little mechanic that's been thrown in here, and I was happy to see it. And last but not least on our list of upgrades here is we now have Crossbowman. Crossbowmen are exactly what they sound like. It seems like they're a more powerful archer unit, and if I am not mistaken, we also have the second of the two burger plot updates, burgage plots update, is now you have a Bowyer's shop, and the Bowyer's shop makes crossbows as well now. So instead of just making bows, now you get crossbows as well if you ask it to, and you can have a new militia unit of Crossbowman. So there's the highlights. Just a quick recap. We'll go through it here at the end, but we'll go through it here now at the end. So quick recap would be is we got fishing ponds, which is a new source of meat, the fishing hut. We got Unreal 5, which makes it look absolutely amazing and lets them stamp out some bugs that Unreal 4 wouldn't let them get because Unreal 4 lost its support. We got production limits and resource use limits. I didn't show you specifically, but we also got a trade journal so you can see. Here, I can do that right now. And you're not getting past me on this one. So we got trade journals, which is just a transaction list. He said he intentionally kept this a little simpler because of the time, be a little bit more in tune with the time. So there's not spreadsheets and graphs and all kinds of stuff. It's just basic idea of what you've exported, what you've imported, and who and where it's going to and from. So I think that'll be an interesting little extra mechanic so you can kind of balance your trade out a little bit more, because we do know that trade does affect, supply and demand does affect how much things are worth on the market. So this gives you another point of knowing who's trading what's going out, what's coming in, and the cost of them all. So a good quality of life update again in this patch. We got the fish, we got the trading, we got spoilage for our food, and he also when we looked at, say, the bread, I do remember that he also kept it vague. It wasn't, this bread will spoil in 3.2 days. It's going to be like this. When it was out in the open, spoilage was very high. Now that's in the granary, spoilage is low. What does that mean? We're not 100% sure. But we know that eventually it will go bad, but we can also see when it's low and when it's high. So there you go. Take that with a grain of salt. And that's a beautiful segue into the other new resource out there of salt. You now can find salt on the map, mine it, and then use it in your butcher shop to make sausage out of your meat, which will help with spoilage of your meat. So that's a good thing. It's another new mechanic, another little fun thing. We got a butcher shop out of our burgage plots that we can use to make sausage, but also use our extra livestock. So our extra sheep right now, I'm assuming, get a little mutton in our life and have another food source. So that's so far 2 new food sources, and it's a little offset by the fact that now your food doesn't keep forever. And well, that's it. That is the update from what I can see. It looks good. I know a lot of people are complaining that it took quite a while coming, but I think the Unreal 5 switch over was a lot of work, especially for a small team like is developing this. So I'm happy to see that we got some good updates in our food, because I know for me that's something I'm always struggling with is where to find more and more food. And I think it's given us more information on trade, and I think it's given us more options for our army. So altogether, I'm going to say right now it's looking like a very good patch, and it just literally looks good because of the Unreal 5. But that's all I got for this right now. If you like this, remember to hit that subscribe button. Give it an old thumbs up. Let the algorithm know that you liked it so more people can see it. We are trying to grow around here, and that helps us an awful lot. Until the next time, once the patch goes all the way live and all the buggies are ironed out and it's out in the real world, I will be doing some tutorials on like fishing and butchers and see how that all plays in. So if you want to see that, hit that subscribe button too. But until then, I hope you are well, and I hope you and yours have a wonderful time. We'll see you next time.